Hello everyone, this is part 2 of the community round robin. The instructions for round 2 can be found on Future Cat's YouTube channel, which is Future Cat NZ. All the information is in the description box below. So what we did last week in part 1 is we did the center block, which was done by Brenda. One thing we need to do before we finish it off by adding this fancy border is we do need to remove all the paper, because this was a foundation paper pieced block. So what I do is I fold it and then I just gently tear it apart. Sometimes if I've got lots of seams, I'll actually go in and just gently wet this. You'll notice the paper I used is just a 20-pound bond. I know you can get lighter newsprint stock, but I felt this was more of a generous pattern size, so I could get away with a heavier paper. So I'm going to go ahead, remove all this, and then I'll check back with you in a moment. Okay, now that I have all the paper removed, if you look on the back, I'm going to give this a quick press. And I'm changing the instructions a little bit in the order only because of how my mind works. I want to actually add the border around this first. One of the design things is I'm going for a little bit of contrast here. So I'm using different fabric. If your fabrics here are all the same, it's suggesting that your border here be the same as your background. So I'm just going to sew these into position and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the inner border around the center block, so I'll set that aside for further along. So next we're taking what we want as our accent fabrics for our border, and we're putting two colors together. So in my case, I'm doing the yellow and blues together and the red and blacks together, and these are the 3.5-inch squares, and we'll be sewing them as half square triangles. So drawing a line from corner to corner and then sewing 1/4 inch from each side and then cutting these apart. So I've got 8 of these to do, so I'll do that up and then I'll be right back. So I got my half square triangles done. So I have 8 that are the 1 and 3 and 8 that are the 2 and 4. So next what we need to do is pair them up. So I'm taking the 1 and sandwiching it against the 4, and if you press your seams correctly, you can nest them. So by pushing them together, you can feel that they're locked in. So now what we're going to do is do the opposite direction. So draw a line from corner to corner and sew on either side, and what that will produce is these lovely 1/4 square triangles. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I have these all sewn together. So if you flip them, and if you're happy with how they meet in the center, then you cut them apart, and that'll give us 16 different pairs in opposite mirror image. So I'm going to do that, and then we need to cut them apart, and then these need to be squared up per the instructions. So let me go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. Okay, so the 1/4 square triangles are all done. I have 8 that look like this and 8 that look like this. So they are mirror images of each other. So we will set those aside for now. And we have 2 of the number 3 and number 4. So we're going to make those into a half square triangle. So same idea, where we go corner to corner, stitch 1/4 inch from the line you've drawn, and then it'll look like that once we cut them in half. And then from that, we're going to back it up with our color number 2 like this, and then we're going to end up with a triangle that looks like that. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. You'll end up with 2 of those, by the way. And again, check with Future Cat NZ for the full instructions and to download a copy of the pattern. So I'll be right back. So I've got these last two blocks done, and again they're mirror images of each other. This one is now called C, this one is D, this is A, and this is B. So next what we're going to do is we're going to take our center block and we're going to build the border on the outside. So using the layout that she's given us, we will be placing them A, B, A, B, and then B, A, B, A, then C, A, B, etc., etc. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll be right back. So this is what the sides will look like. So the fabric that matches the border faces on the inside on both sides. So I will piece these together with a 1/4 inch and then add them on each side. And then I'll show you how to, or what the top will look like when it's assembled. I hope you can see this. I'm just going to give you a little trick because there are some critical seams here. So I've shown this in other videos that I've done, but I'll just quickly show it here because this is what I'm doing. I'm actually opening up this with the, you have your right sides together. I'm matching up the seams, and then I'm actually going to put glue here, and then on the other end I'll match it up and I'll put glue here, and then I'll put a pin here, and then that helps to get these points to match up. Just a little trick. Okay, so I have all those borders sewn on. I have to tell you, it did try my patience a little bit. There's one area I'm not 100% happy with, but I will fix it later. So the final stage is to put an outer border, which is the same as your background. And these will go like this. I did have to piece a couple strips together because I am using some smaller scraps and I wanted it to match with this kind of grungy yellow. So I will go ahead and sew those on and then show you what the final look is. So hang in there, almost done. Here it is, all done. Please check out the video description for the links to the content creators who are working on this round robin, and also round 3, which will be out in the next week or so. So as always, sew safely and sew with Debbie. Bye for now.